Hey, Dr. Steve here, and this is a short little warm-up that you can do for yourself where we're gonna hit three main parts. We're gonna do the hip flexors, we're gonna get the hamstrings, and then we're gonna get the spine going. So we're gonna start in this stride stance position, and we're gonna take the arms, we're gonna swing down and up, and the timing is if you do about 10 reps, it works out to be about 20 seconds, and so we can do a minute hitting the three directions for each side. And this will be close to 10, but we'll do one more here. And then from there, you stay with your hands up and you swing side to side. And with this, you want to let your hips go with it, and you want to let the whole body kind of move. So this is a whole body warm-up that we're really targeting the hip flexor of the leg that's back. And so we keep the heel down and the toes pointed forward, and then from there we go into the rotations. And for the rotations around the corner, you want to let your whole body move with it. So the hips need to turn, the spine is moving, and again we do somewhere in the area of about 10 reps, and that generally works out to about 20 seconds. So there's 1 minute, and we just hit the hip flexor. We stay in this same position, and now we're going to drop the hands down to the ground to get the hamstring of this front leg. We're going to keep the hands on the ground, and you're lifting your hips up and back, and again, we'll do about the 10 reps or so. I might not be exactly 10 reps as I'm talking through everything. We'll go one more here. And then we bring the hips up, we leave them there, and then we swing side to side. So for this, you want to make sure that you're swinging your whole body and butt from side to side so that when you're looking down at your foot and ankle, you can see your shin bone rotating and your foot moving just a little bit. So then we go into circles. You circle the whole body around in one direction, and then reverse directions so that you're going both clockwise and counterclockwise. And here we hit the three planes for the hamstring. Now when you come up, we can stay in this same position and get the spine going. And what you're going to do is this continuous reaching and pulling kind of motion. And after a few reps in the center here, then we angle your trunk down. So this is like you're weeding the garden or you're picking up something from the ground, your dirty laundry. We keep the arms going, and then we change the angle of the trunk, and now you're reaching way up overhead for a few reps, really stretching through each side. Come back to center. You tip over to one side with your trunk, so we're side bent, and you're kind of doing this over and under reach. Come back to center, tip to the other side, so you're doing your over and under reaches, and then you let yourself come back to center, and then we just rotate and turn your trunk around the corner as much you can in one direction, back to center. We hit the other side for a few reps, back to center, and there we've done hip flexor, hamstrings, and spine in one position. We switch our feet and we'll repeat. So we'll run through about 10 reps here. You want to let the hips come forward as you're driving your arms up overhead. We'll go into side to side. And then we'll rotate around the corner here. The goal for these first ones, we want the feet pointed forward and the back heel down as best you can. Sometimes the heel will start to creep up, but we want to try and keep it down to get more of a stretch through the hip and the ankle. So there's the hip flexor. Now we're dropping down to the hamstring. So feet in the same position, hands hit the ground, and then we're lifting the hips and the body, straightening the knees. And then swing side to side. And you want to think that you're kind of exaggerating the motion. We want big motion with the hips and the butt going side to side so that you're creating that rotation in your shin bone that you can see rotating down to your foot and ankle. And then we're going to take everything around in circles. And we hit both directions of the circles. And then ease yourself up. And we stay in this same position, and now we get the arms going. So we get the reaches, reaching out in front and pulling back behind you. After a few reps in neutral here, you start to angle the trunk down. So this is the picking stuff up from the ground. Let the elbows come way up behind you. And then you bring the trunk back up. And then we start to angle up overhead and get a good stretch through the ribs. And then we come back to center. Side bend or tip your trunk over to the side. So here we're going under and over. And we're getting that reach going still. Bring the trunk back up. We're going to tip over to the other side, over and under. And then we come back up. And then we turn the trunk so that we're rotating around the corner as far as you can go one way. Get a few reaches and pulls back to center. And then around the corner the other way. Back to center. And there you have it. That's a whole body warm up. We're hitting the hip flexors, the hamstrings.